Hello, everyone. This is Steady Steve-O with Game Set Live, and I'm here today to give you the current state of Xbox full screen experience. It is coming a long way. A year ago, I could not say that. I don't think any of us could say that. But I'm going to show you today what's actually happening with a PC when you put it into full screen experience, because we know that most gamers aren't running multi-monitor displays. They run one display, and so when they put it in full screen experience, to them it looks like a reskin. And I've seen a recent post on Twitter today with somebody searching for Crimson Desert, a certain journalist with Windows Central. They said they searched for Crimson Desert using the app or the full screen experience. I'm not even sure if this individual knows that the app home screen is not the full screen experience. You have to actually put that into the full screen experience. And I'm going to show that to you today. And I'm also going to show you how that was faked. That doesn't happen. It is not that broken. It is actually running very well these days. Okay. So I run a 3 monitor setup. I've got my center one right here. This is my big 43-inch Samsung Odyssey Neo G7. All the bells and whistles. That's everything I needed to do from a PC gaming perspective. It's got everything. On your right, you see this is my 4K Samsung 27-inch monitor. The HDR honestly sucks on it, but it still tags as HDR capture, so I use OBS from this screen because it still tone maps properly for HDR. Just the HDR implementation on the monitor really sucks. But this is what I'm running over here on monitor 2. This is OBS, which I'm recording this video on. And then over here on the left, I have Task Manager monitoring the GPU usage for encode and decode, which I like to do when I use OBS because we can get awfully close to a video encoder overload error on OBS. Anybody who's used OBS knows what I'm talking about. So to show you that I am using two apps, OBS over here and hardware monitor with Task Manager over here. And then here's my main screen. So I'm using two applications in Windows before I start the Xbox app. So let's go ahead and do that now. Go down here, open Xbox. The Xbox app is opening. All right. We are in the Xbox app now. This is just the app home screen. This is not full screen experience. So we're going to go now into the Xbox full screen experience. We're going to click this little tab up here, Xbox full screen. Oh, you see what happened right there? My other two monitors went black. I've just lost access to anything in the Windows environment. My system is now prioritized for gaming. I can't do anything unless I hit Windows F11, and you can see I've hopped back into it, but it has minimized the apps that I had open. So I need to open my apps back up, but I'm still in Windows because as you can see on my 3 monitors, everything is running multitasking just like Windows should. But when I pulled out of the full screen experience where I was prioritized for gaming, Windows needed a second to put everything down in the taskbar so that I could bring it back up at my leisure, and that it was just not an automatic flip because there is something happening in the background. There are services being stopped, putting on hold, so that system resources can be turned to Xbox full screen experience. And we're not even getting into what Xbox mode is going to be next month, but it's going to be an even farther iteration of what we already see here. So let's go back into full screen mode. Oh, there went my other two monitors with my other two apps going. They are gone now. Think of it as Windows has put them in hold and given all my resources over to the Xbox full screen experience. So let's get into that screenshot on Twitter today by that Windows Central journalist. If I go up here and I do a search for Crimson Desert, you see right there, everything pops up. And I hit enter. Look, Crimson Desert is the very first thing that pops up here. Of course, it shows Crimson Skies play with Game Pass because Game Pass is part of Xbox. The Xbox is part of Windows. So they've got to advertise their first foot forward. They've got a game with the first name Crimson, so they're going to show it. But as far as games down here, both versions of Crimson Desert are the very first things on the list. How can I fake this? Okay, let's go back. And let's search for some B crap. Like Crim Lagos. Just picking something out of the blue. All right, look. See? Look. There is nothing on here about Crimson Desert. But I can go up here and hit Crimson Desert. Click off of it. Oh, look at this. This looks like an awful good opportunity for a screenshot, right? I think I should take this screenshot. Windows S. And we're going to We're going to take a screenshot of me searching for Crimson Desert. That's right up here. And it didn't show anything about Crimson Desert. We're going to put this on Twitter and start some shit. All right. You can even go back. That's going to stay up there. It's not going to go away. I can hit it, hit enter. It's going to bring me back to where Crimson Desert is the first thing. Or like I said, we can type in some Crimson Skies. I mean, that's a good game, right? Xbox first party game. As you can see, look. Crimson Skies doesn't even show up. I'm sorry, Crimson Desert doesn't even show up. But I can retype this. It's Crimson Desert. I hit enter. Shows up. But if I click back, Crimson Desert's still up here. And all of a sudden, I'm not seeing any Crimson Desert. Seems like a good place for a screenshot. And a little bit of Photoshop so that we don't see the search results for Crimson Desert or Crimson Skies. Don't believe the hype. Let's see how this app runs games. All right, let's start Crimson Desert. Play. It's gonna grab my last cloud save that I did on the Xbox Series X this morning. So let's hit play. Keep in mind this is going to be slightly faster than what you see on consoles because I am using a faster SSD. I believe it's about 6 gigabytes per second. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And we're in the game. Got my Riva Statistics Tuner running up here with MSI Afterburner so I can keep an eye on everything. It does say that when we play using full screen experience, it advises us to not use our keyboard and mouse. So I'm going to grab my game controller over here that is linked to my console, and I'm going to hit A. And then I'm going to hit play. And the save game that I saved earlier on Xbox Series X, I don't even have to select it. It's all part of the same network, same cloud save file. It's going to pull it up. You usually sit in this screen for a while, even on the PS5 Pro. These are the base game assets loading. And now they're loaded. And now that that's loaded, the game is going to do this walking sequence where I'm walking towards a cube. And that is my actual save data and world data being loaded through this sequence right here, so that when I come out on the other side, I pick up seamlessly where I was when I saved the game and whatnot. Woo! And here I am. I just, I just took out the one goblin bounty, and then I came down here and talked to these guards. But yeah, definitely no downgrade running on, this is an Xbox Play Anywhere copy, so getting it once. I've been able to play it on my PC through the Xbox app using the Xbox full screen experience. You don't have to use the full screen experience. It does work just launching through the dashboard, but I have noticed a difference. 5 to 10 frames. As you can see right now, up there in the top right, I'm pulling 90 to the low 90s, high 80 frames. Go into my options here. Running at full screen on my Samsung Odyssey Neo G7 at 4K using DLSS 4.0 in quality mode, with frame gen only adding an extra frame between frames. Do not turn DLSS ray reconstruction on. That takes 30 frames right off the top. Reflex is on because it reduces system latency from control input to screen. You want to use reflex whenever you use frame gen. It will make it unnoticeable. HDR is on, VSync is off. Get into that in a minute. Go over to graphics. Everything is set to cinematic. We are completely maxed out, except for lighting quality. It's cinematic. If I go to the right, I put it at max. But when I put it in max turns on DLSS ray reconstruction, which takes 30 frames off the top. That's very resource heavy. Unless you've got a 90 series card, I would not run DLSS ray reconstruction. It's very little bang for your buck. From my personal experience, I don't see a huge difference. And on to what I said about the VSync, whenever you use frame generation, VSync is unusable. VSync is a kind of a compensation to align the frames with the timing and the interlacing so that you don't get, or I'm sorry, it's not interlacing, it's progressive scan, so that you don't get screen tearing. When frame generation is running, NVIDIA DLSS takes care of all of that for you. And if you were to be able to turn on VSync, that would make it even worse, because you'd have two compensators fighting each other, and that's when you start to get flicker and whatnot. And that's why I said earlier on Twitter that if you run your Xbox Series X version in balanced mode, which my personal opinion, if you have a VRR screen, you want balanced, because balanced is almost a locked 40 frames. It's very smooth, but the game turns on VSync automatically. You want to turn VSync off if you get any flicker, because some VRR displays have software in them that automatically compensate for low FPS VRR. VRR in the low 50s to 60s and even higher than that's not a big issue. That we don't call that low FPS. What we call low FPS is when you get close to 40. You're getting closer and closer to that 30 FPS mark. If you have a system that will compensate for that on its own, when I say system, I mean a television that will compensate for that on its own, then you want to turn off VSync. And that's why Pearl Abyss, the developer, left the VSync option in the console version so that you can turn it off if you choose to run balanced mode. Because I had to turn it off because my Samsung Odyssey Neo G7, it automatically takes care of low FPS VRR, and I saw the flicker. And it's flicker that looks almost like screen tearing, but where there should be a tear, there's a flicker. So I went in and turned it off. Boom, gone. After, I guess, a couple minutes of playing on the Series X in balanced mode, I didn't notice the loss of detail anymore. The frame rate felt buttery smooth. I still wasn't able to capture it smooth because capture software, for some reason, it goes from 30 frames to 50 frames to 59.94 to 60, then up to 120. I tried to manually input the frames I wanted. If I could have manually inputted 40, then I'd have gotten a buttery smooth stream recording, but I couldn't do that. But anyway, yeah, with all this on, we are good. I mean, isn't this game beautiful? It's so beautiful when you've got the type of system to let it stretch its legs. And as you can see in the top right, I'm running a Ryzen 9 5950X, which is a 5-year-old CPU. But it is 16 cores and 32 threads, which is what I put most of my value on because of content creation and whatnot. But it's also got a boost clock of up to 4.9 gigahertz, which is what you want for gaming. And the 4080 Super, no slouch, solid card. Wish they still made it, but you know what? They got to sell 50 series cards at the end of the day, so I can't hate them for it. They're a company, and their companies are meant to make money. On that note, let's hop on out of here. Let's go back to the title screen. Yes, I want to confirm. Wait for it to hop back to the title screen here. Bum, bum, bum. I wish there was an easier way to get out of this game. I really do. It's not like I can hit the Xbox button and hop back to the dashboard, because then I still have to end the game. I'll show that right now. The Xbox button, it doesn't work for that purpose on PC, even when you're in the full screen experience. If I want to treat it like what you've seen on the ROG Xbox Ally X, I have to hit the Windows button like this. I hope you can see that. And then with my controller, I can go bloop, 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 bloop. Look, there's all the other apps I have running that I can't see. But I can hop back into my dashboard, but then I can't stop the game. So what am I supposed to do? I have to use the game to do it. So let's hit the Windows key again, go into Crimson Desert, hit A, and then hold B to exit. And that takes me back, stops the game, syncs my save, and whatnot. Still have no controls in Windows and stuff. Let's grab my mouse, go over here. You notice there's no button to get out of full screen experience. I am an Xbox insider, but I'm part of the Delta plan, which is like the last ones to get it before full release to the public. I had the option to join the others, like many others do, but I value system stability. I didn't want that. I just signed up for the beta program because, yeah, I just wanted a little earlier so I can get a look at it and get used to it. I don't want it with all the bugs, and the beta is the most stable. But to get out of full screen experience, we hit our Windows key plus F11 like we did earlier, and boom, we're right back in. Let's bring up all of our apps the way they were. And here we are back in the app dashboard. All right. This has been Steady Stevo with Game Set Live. with a showing of how Xbox full screen experience runs in its current state, which is pretty good. I have no complaints. It's pretty flawless. I would be okay if Helix was to come out and it be like this. It's not as bad as the pundits on social media are telling you that it is. It's just a fire starter, what you're hearing and what you're seeing. It runs pretty dang good. But on that note, everybody, have a great week coming up. This was my first video. And yeah, game on, everybody. Woohoo!